What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Trolling with Boyz4Life. I am your host, obviously Boyz4Life. I'd like to welcome y'all to the show today. Today is a good day. It's a good day, and I'm happy for today. So I have someone coming on here in a bit. I'm going to send them the link here in a couple minutes. But first, I wanted to talk about something awesome, something that made me happy. A couple things that made me happy that I'm excited for. So, was it yesterday? Yesterday, I received a phone call from work. As you can hear my son in the background, it's just me and him right now and the two dogs. It's just us two. My wife and my stepdaughter went to her family's house because her nephew, they have a birthday party for her nephew. So they went over there. What's up, Jane Christian? How you going? How you doing, man? How you doing? So sometimes you're gonna see me periodically look up and make sure that my son's okay. I don't know if you can hear him back, kind of like grunting and moaning in the background. He might be uncomfortable, so we might have to go take a step away every once in a while to go make sure he's okay. Then you hear the dogs barking. But no, a couple things yesterday. I received a phone call from work, telling me about my promotion that I got. So I am super excited for that promotion. You can hear him crying. I'm trying to see. We might have to go take a quick commercial break and then get in and then go over there. But so I received the promotion and they offered me the money and I said, nah, let's just round it up to an even number, the closest even number. Odd, even, whatever it is, I mean, I know what it is, but let's round it up. And the hiring lady said, I don't got that authority. Let me run it by the director and I'll get back with you. So, she said, but if they can't, do you accept the offer at 20, the number? And I said, yeah, I got you. I am good as golden. We got this. So, but I want to go in with my counter offer. So I went in with my counter offer and I'm still waiting. On what they got to say. But anyways, that was number one. And number two, they did the biopsy on my grandma. And it's a growth, but there's no cancer. It's a growth, but no cancer. So we are excited about that. But guys, I'm going to step away for a second and I'm going to get my son. No commercial because it'll bring me back on. I don't need y'all to hear anything. So I'm just going to excuse myself and let people come in. So I'll be right back, people. I'll be right back. So we are going to have little Boyz4Life on here until he falls asleep and we're able to get him over to his little swing or where he needs to be, so he's not in here. But what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. Cowboys Fan 1992. What up, AK Podcast? How you doing, homie? Appreciate you for stopping by. And my man, what's up, Cool Cat Connor? How you doing, homie? Appreciate you for stopping by. But I got someone coming in here that we're gonna finish this debate, and it's between him and I only. So he's got the link to the chat. I mean, not to the chat, to the thing. This is what we got going on here, and we're gonna spend a little time trying to put away. I know this dude is not hungry because I literally just fed him. There's no way that this dude is hungry, So we're gonna have him here, and he's gonna be looking around, having a good time. Oh, son, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. There's no way this dude is hungry. And if he is hungry, I might have to chill out and go get him something to eat. But this man literally just ate, like, not even 30 minutes ago. And he actually might be hungry. So we're going to wait and see. Today really wasn't going to be much of a trolling thing today. I was going to do a debate about some stuff. Waiting for Big Play Slay to get in here. There he is. There's my guy. What's going on, dog? How you doing, bro?
Good. It's good. Got the shades on. What up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Look at you, dude.
Yes, sir. I see the kid there.
This dude was down, and then all of a sudden started crying. Just fed him, but we can still do this, man. We don't got to keep it too long. I know there's not much. I mean, there's plenty to talk about, but so we got this debate going on about what Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So. And our viewpoints, I mean, they're very good talking points, but I want to know from your standpoint and just pure throwing the football. Because, I mean, I know we've talked about how Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson is better than Dak Prescott when it comes to a pure player. Overall player, Lamar Jackson's better, right? Like, we've already discussed that. But when it comes to pure passing, explain to me why you think, when I look at certain numbers, why you think Lamar Jackson's better.
Right. So me personally, like I think if you look at both of the careers so far, I think Dak has had better like playmakers around him. But with Lamar, I just feel like in some like situations, he has like better tight window throws. He can make throws that are like really hard to make in some situations. And then it's like when you look at Dak, of course, I'm not saying he's a bad passer. He's a good passer. It's just that when I look at both quarterbacks, even deep ball, Lamar, I feel like most of his drops come from these receivers not like really connecting with him, and he makes good throws. I mean, go look at that game against the Cowboys, and I know you remember this because you're a Cowboys fan, Boyz4Life. Marquise Brown did a double move on one of their corners, and Marquise Brown cut up, and he cut up the end zone and still scored a touchdown. And Lamar put the ball perfectly. And there was another throw against the Jets a couple years back. This is when they won the AFC North, and they clinched it. Lamar Jackson put the ball on the money to Willie Snead, and it was really hard throw to make, especially in tight window. You got a deep ball, and then I don't think Dak makes a throw like that. And it's not even just to criticize Dak. It's just that I don't think he makes a throw like that. But in my opinion, Dak is an amazing quarterback. I'm not saying that he's not. He's a top 15 quarterback for sure. It's just that there are throws that I feel like Lamar can make that Dak can't. And in some situations, efficiency-wise, Lamar's in a worse situation with receivers, and he still is like a two differential difference in terms of like efficiency, and then you look at accuracy. But when you look at efficiency, it's like a 2-point differential. And then it's like, put Lamar on the Cowboys. Does he have a higher grade, like more than Dak does? If you put him on the Cowboys, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I mean, all those are great points. Now, when we're talking about efficiency, because I've tried to look up his efficiency number. Where do you go to find out? Because every time when I'm looking at stuff, I'm looking at Pro Football Reference. That's where I'm looking at.
Pro Football Reference is where I go to. That's where I go. Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
it was a 2-point differential. I think it was Lamar by a 2-point differential, and that comes off of like what is it called? The Cowboys not running the ball as much as the Ravens. So that's probably why that's the case. But I feel like if you put Dak on the Ravens, you put Lamar on the Cowboys, I feel like it's just more like a wide like divide in terms of like efficiency. And I'm sorry, bro. Like you said, he's a better overall player. You look at passing, I'll give Dak, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what to give Dak in some situations over Lamar. I hear that people say he's a better passer. I don't like completely like disagree with it. I just have my points with Lamar, and I think Lamar in some situations can make better throws than Dak. But hey, it's close though. It's really close in terms of their passing. But yeah, that's just how I feel.
Yeah, no, I got you. I'm sorry, they're just being a little fussy right now.
Yeah, you good. You good. You good.
No, no, I hear you, man, and those are all great, good talking points. But for me, and I get it. Some of these throws, Dak Prescott can make some of these throws. I've seen it, you've seen it. But when I'm looking at pure numbers and when I'm looking at just like completion percentage, yardage, all that stuff, to me, that stands out a little bit more because that's what a lot of people are looking at. And to me, Dak Prescott has those better numbers. And it could be because, one, we throw the ball more. Two, we have better wide receivers. It can be one of those. It can be a number of things. But for me, this is why – and I take out the running game and all that stuff from with both of them because I get it. Lamar Jackson is a running quarterback. Dak Prescott really isn't. But to keep it fair across the board, that's why when I had my top 32 quarterbacks, it was Dak Prescott ahead Lamar Jackson. Dude, give me 1 second. I'm gonna take us out of the stream and I'm gonna fix him a bottle and then I'll bring us back on.
All right, I got you.
Give me a few minutes.
Yep, you're.
All right, just waiting for Big Play Slay to get back on here. Gotta feed this dude. The wife is. Oh, there we go. Okay, now you're back.
Yes, sir.
Now we're gonna get this baby calm right here, real quick. There we go,
bro. You good?
Yeah, man. Fucking, my wife is at her parents' house with my stepdaughter. It was her nephew's
Yeah.
birthday, and they had a party for him. But
Yeah.
since he hasn't had his shots yet, and then like it's a whole bunch of people going to be there, I was like, nah.
Yeah.
With COVID going around pretty bad, and then with him being a baby, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna take that chance.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
Good
back to
move.
our talking points. Yeah, man. When I'm looking at Dak Prescott, because I get it. Lamar Jackson, he's a good throw. He can throw the ball. I've never said he couldn't. But when I look at completion percentage as a whole, out of both careers, Dak Prescott is better. I mean, you haven't, aside from his what was it, 2019 season where Lamar Jackson won MVP, right? Um, he hasn't touched above 65% completion percentage. Dak
Yeah, that's
Prescott,
true.
I don't think he's even gotten that low. I got to go back and look, but he's up there like 67, 68, around there all the time. So for me, that's what I'm looking at. How many balls are you completing, a game? I mean, I get it. Lamar Jackson, a couple years ago where he had what was it, 43 or 37 for
Yep.
43, 86 per.
Mhm.
I mean, that's crazy to have. I mean, that is a Madden game, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I mean, just because you have one or two good games and maybe you can throw you throw you have a better a throw, um, better play here and there. I mean, to me, that doesn't make you a better quarterback. I mean, like I said, Lamar Jackson is a all around better talent than what Dak Prescott is. I mean, Lamar Jackson can elevate his team better than I think anyone can. I mean, because he's not only can throw the football, he can also run it. I mean, we saw it in 2019 with the 1,200 yards that he had. I mean, how
Mhm.
many rushing attempts did he have? Like 140 something
Something like
that year.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was up there. But I get it. Without Lamar Jackson, the Ravens team is they can't win games. But I heard a talking point when I was watching one of y'all's podcasts that was a talking point. Lamar Jackson, without Lamar Jackson on the Ravens can't win games, and without Dak Prescott, the Cowboys can win games, which isn't true. I mean, I get it. We won against the Vikings, but go back to 2020 when Dak Prescott got hurt week 5.
Yep.
I think we won one or two more games, if that, after that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
mean, without Dak Prescott, without our starting quarterback, you know, we will be drafting in the top 5,
Yeah.
in my
Mhm.
opinion. So I mean, both these guys hold their weight, but for me, when I look at certain stats, I think certain stats hold a little bit more weight: passing yards, completion percentage,
Right.
um, interceptions. I mean, I get it. Um, Lamar Jackson only played 12 games, but in those 12 games, he had what, 13 interceptions? That's over one interception a game, when you do the math about it. But that's what I'm looking at. And I get it. It may be because he's just trying to make a play, but at the same time, being careless with the football is also another thing for me that I look at. And I
Hey,
mean,
what
Dak
up, bro?
Prescott,
What's good?
and Dak Prescott is sometimes careless with the football. I'm not saying he isn't, but that's another thing that I look at.
Yeah, and then it's like I understand that people that look at stats. Like I don't got
Yeah,
anything against stats. I love looking at stats. But in my opinion, I just personally feel like Lamar is better. And then yeah, you could definitely say that Dak is a good thrower. I mean, his stats prove that they're probably a difference between throwing. But I just look at the talent. You lost Cooper. I look at what I want to see what Dak does this year. Without
yeah,
Cooper. I think your team is still good. Because you have talent on both sides. You have arguably a top 10 cornerback, a guy that got 11 interceptions last year, and you just gonna get 11 interceptions for no reason. You got
yeah,
Micah Parsons, a top 3 probably linebacker in this league. And then you got pieces all over the field, and then you probably got your most valuable player on the team this year in CD Lamb. So it
yeah.
was gonna be amazing.
No, and you're right.
Yeah,
About a lot of things when it comes to the Cowboys. I mean, we're not a bad team. I mean, a lot of people are going to push us down
yeah,
and say that we lost a lot of key players. I think we lost decent players. The only key player I think we lost is Amari Cooper, and there's a lot of things a lot of things that came out this past season. I mean, not this past season, a couple days ago when he had an interview on a radio show.
hmm
But when it comes to Dak Prescott, I want to see what he's going to do too. To me, I don't think, and I said this, and these are my takes, and it's going to be CeeDee Lamb gets over 1,000 yards, but
yep,
Dak Prescott doesn't. He's going to be between 38 to 4,200, I think, this year. I don't think he's going to be up at 4,400, 4,500, 40. I don't think he's going to get up there. And the reason why I say that is because look at how we drafted with our offensive linemen that we took. I think we're going to go back to running the football. You know what I mean? I don't think that Dak Prescott is going to have 596 passing attempts this year the way he did last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's another thing with Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott. Lamar Jackson, I get it. He only had 12 games this season, and I have it somewhere. But I think there's like 109, almost a 200 passing attempt difference between those two.
Mm-hmm.
But also in those 12 games, Lamar Jackson rushed 133 times. Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot when you come. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, because he's so generational with like running the football, they have to utilize his legs. That's another reason people like get stuff confused with his arm. Like, I mean, dude, he can throw the football. It's just that because of his running game, they utilize the offense around that completely.
So let me ask you this: if Lamar Jackson went to like a West Coast offense where he doesn't take off running as much, it's just purely drop back passing, you think that he will be this prolific passer, like this all great passer, or do you think he's going to struggle, or do you think he's going to be the type of player that he is?
I think to answer your question, I don't think he'd be like a Mahomes to any like standard, but he definitely would be up there though. I think if he would probably be top 10 for sure. Top 10 for sure. I think he would be top.
Okay, so you think you'd be okay? I mean, I'd like to see that. You know, I mean, that's the only way for us to actually determine what kind of passer actually Lamar Jackson is. And like I said, I get it. He can make the nice throw. He gets the touch pass. He makes windows and tight throws in tight windows. But I think the only way for be able to judge this is if you put Lamar Jackson in a different type of system where his legs aren't featured as much. But I think that's what hurts him a little bit. Because I get it. I get it. A lot of people are saying that running the football with a quarterback is now a quarterback stat, right? Like that, that's going to determine whether you're a good quarterback or that has some play in it. You know, I mean, even though I don't think it does, and that's just because not every quarterback is built like that. You know what I mean? I mean, because if you were to take away Lamar Jackson's legs, would he even be being talked about right now, trying to get a bigger contract or even a secondary contract? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. He's gonna get a big contract though, for sure.
You what?
He's gonna get a big contract for sure.
Well, see, that's what they're playing. That's what they're talking about right now. I mean, if he's, to me, if there is like with Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, you know, those guys that are it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't wait to sign those guys. You sign those guys. You know, I've already stressed enough what I think Dak is to the Cowboys, and you see it when, you know, you take a franchise tag and then another, like, basically half of an offseason or almost a whole offseason to finally come to a deal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with Lamar and the same thing with Lamar Jackson. You know, they're taking forever and a day to re-sign this guy. I mean, he maybe get this big contract, but to me, and look, this is what I've said about Lamar Jackson since for the longest time, and people make fun of me. You know, they talk shit, say whatever they want to say, but just hear what I got to say in context. Lamar Jackson to me is RG3 when it comes to him getting hurt. If he keeps running the football the way he does, because he's already been hurt twice already. He's already missed multiple games for 2 seasons.
He missed last year.
Yeah.
He missed I think he missed the game
the year before, right?
Yeah, he missed the game the year before too.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
So that's me saying he's RG3 2.0 in context. It's if he keeps running the ball, he's going to get late. He's going to get hit at some point to where it's not going to be good for him. And that's where I think that he needs his, you know, even though his legs are his where he makes his bread and butter pretty much, I think he needs to stay in the pocket more. And that's because of the coaches, right? Like we've already talked about. That's because of the system he's in, that the coaches make him run a lot, right? There's a lot of designs run for him. I think that if he were to able to drop back and cover it, I mean, in the pocket and just straight pass, I think a lot of this debate could be put to rest, right?
Yeah.
But to your point, man, and like I said, I agree with you on the fact that Lamar Jackson is an overall better player. Like in that regards, there's no debate. and that's just because Lamar Jackson's better with his legs. I get it. They're there. It's like it's close, I guess you can say, in passing, which is why it makes Lamar Jackson a lot better, because when it comes to running the football, being able to read a defense, diagnose plays, whatever, Lamar Jackson is better, which makes him an overall better player. And to that point right there, I can see to you and Lamar Jackson's just better, period.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But no, man. What else do you got to say about Lamar Jackson? I mean, what are you expecting from him this season?
I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting because he doesn't have Hollywood. They don't really have too many receivers. I'm expecting Andrews to have a big year. He honestly could have one of the best like tight end seasons statistically. And
Yeah.
then they're probably gonna run the ball still a lot. And then you just think like they're probably still gonna be a playoff team. They're either 1 or 2 in the AFC North. I don't know, man. Lamar, the Ravens in general, because it's a team game, they have to get to the AFC Championship. They've been defeated by the Bills. They've been defeated by the Titans once before. They got to at least get to the AFC Championship game. And Lamar has to prove to me that he can, get past 2 rounds. What up, Bergang?
What up, Bergang? How you doing, bro? Yeah, no, I mean, this is the same. Like, look, I've said this about Dak Prescott numerous times. To me, the last 2 quarterbacks that the Cowboys have had were bridge quarterbacks, Tony Romo and Dak Prescott. I mean, I get it. Dak Prescott came in, won us 13 games, but that was with a offense that played, lights out. With Zeke being a rookie, both their rookie seasons, their defense wasn't half bad. That's why I say if we had Tony Romo, if we had a veteran in there, I think we would have gotten a lot further than what we did against than what we did last year. Because you can probably agree with me that Tony Romo is a better. He can at that point in their careers, right, where Tony Romo is the veteran, Dak Prescott is a rookie. Tony Romo could read the defenses better, diagnose the plays, make the correct throw, do all that stuff. He just never had the run game. Now he has the run game to go along with it. To me, that year, Tony Romo takes us a little bit further. And with Dak Prescott, like I said, both these guys are bridge quarterbacks. And I said this, and I don't expect a lot from Dak Prescott. I really don't. I'm surprised when he does do well. But when we get to the playoff games, he is 1-3. I don't know if that's and it's not because of him. It's just a Cowboys curse, right? That's what we haven't done anything since '95. So I don't need to see more from Dak Prescott. I'm already ready to move on with him. But at the same time, if he gets us somewhere, then yes, okay, cool, that's awesome. But he hasn't shown me enough to where I'm just like, okay, like I want to keep this dude. I'm already ready to move on from Dak Prescott. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's not a guy that's flash, but you got the receivers though. And then it's like Dak has really never proven what a miss, but he's really never proven to me once. I mean, he's done it maybe once before, but he's never really proven to me like consistently that he could do it without Amari. I mean, Amari was a big contribution his second year, or what was it? The third year you traded for him?
Yeah,
And
because we traded him from 2018, and then 2019. No, 2019 was his big year, because then 2020 Dak was hurt. So
yeah, that's
2019,
it.
yeah.
And
And that was the year that Lamar Jackson. And then this is where our debate starts with both these guys, is because Lamar Jackson, he had the touchdowns. I understand it. He had the rushing yards. Dak Prescott didn't have the rushing yards. Y'all want to say that the rushing yards are now a quarterback stat, right? But to me, if you take away those and also the Ravens what 14-2 that season. Yeah. I forget what the Cowboys went. I think it was like 8-8 or 9-8 or something like that. I mean, it wasn't crazy, but at the same time, Dak Prescott had almost 5,000 yards that season. Dak Prescott was 6 touchdowns. That was the difference between Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott. One had 36, one had 30. I think Lamar Jackson had more interceptions, or maybe a couple less, but the difference between these two quarterbacks, because quarterback rating, which I think Dak Prescott had like 72 or 73 around there, and Lamar Jackson had a crazy number like 83.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that season, Lamar Jackson had 1,200 rushing yards. I think if you take away those 1,200 rushing yards from him, and I know y'all sit there and say, well, you can't just take him away, but what I'm saying is that if if he's not that kind of quarterback where he's running all the time the way he is, I don't think he gets that unanimous MVP. Based off of what his stats are as far as throwing the football. And that's where
Yeah.
another my argument was saying. You know what I mean? Like that's another argument. Like I get it.
Mm-hmm.
He was MVP, unanimous, all that stuff. But MVP isn't most valuable quarterback. It's most valuable player. What you mean to the team. Not every quarterback means something to their team. You know what I mean? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
look
Yeah,
at
I agree.
look look at Trent Dilfer with the Ravens, right? That was Dilfer, where
Yep.
he was a trash ass quarterback, and that defense was historically good, and they won a Super Bowl based off that defense, not because of their quarterback. Their quarterback didn't mean much to that team. It was, or even that offense. It was all defense basically. So for me, and then that's why I sit there and say like. That's why I sat there and said like about Dak Prescott. That's why I think he's just a better quarterback as a passer than player. Because if you take away those 1,200 rushing yards from Lamar Jackson that year, I don't think he even touches the MVP. I don't even
Mm-hmm.
think he gets in the MVP talk. But that's just me. That's just me.
I don't. I think. I think he still would have been the MVP, but I don't think it would have been unanimous. I think Stafford would have been the only one that contended with. Stafford and Dak. Yeah, they would have been contended with him.
Yeah, because I was looking at quarterbacks that season. There weren't a lot of quarterbacks. For some reason, it was a down year for a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That year, because that year I only think a few people touched 30. Dak was one of them. Lamar was another one. I mean, Mahomes I think only
Stafford
had
got hurt that year, I think.
yeah. Mahomes I think only had like 26 touchdowns that
Yep,
season.
that injury fucked him up.
Yeah, and then I was looking at Tom Brady. Normally his stats are high. He only
Yep.
had 24 that season. So I mean, it was a down year for all these quarterbacks. It's crazy.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
absolutely. But I still do think if you take the rushing away from him, um, he would have won the MVP. But like I said, I don't think he's a top 10 passer. I think he's like 11 or 12. If you ask me about like passing, I think Carr probably throws the ball a little bit better than him. Um,
yeah,
I think if you ask me someone else, Herbert, Burrow, Stafford, Wilson, Mahomes, Allen, Rodgers, Brady, they all throw the ball better than him. So I don't think you could say he's a top 10 passer. I think you could argue he is an average thrower, to be honest, because yes, he definitely does have those wow moves, like I said, like that one throw he had to Willie Snead, but I mean, I think he makes all the right decisions. He's a good decision maker, but he's
yeah,
not anything special throwing the football, and that's okay. The same thing with
yeah,
Dak, but he's just a little bit more like efficient than Dak. And I think it would have been the same way if you put him on the Cowboys with the receivers that they had a couple years ago. But like I said, both quarterbacks are good. I think both quarterbacks are definitely top 15. It's just that I think Lamar has a slight edge overall, and obviously, I know you picked him in terms of like a better passer. You picked Dak as a better passer, but like I said, efficiency matters. It was a 2 point differential. I get that the Cowboys throw the ball more, so it's gonna make Dak take more risks than Lamar. But
yeah.
like I said, if you put them on the same team, West Coast style offense, Lamar is throwing that rock a lot, and he could definitely do it at a high percentage. It's just that
Yeah.
he's just in that he's trapped in that Ravens offense with Greg Roman. I don't see the man like going, too far with that Ravens offense throwing the football. I mean, his best season throwing the football was like what 3,000 yards or some shit like that. That's
Who
not
was
good.
that?
Um, I want to say it was his MVP year. Actually, hold up.
For who? Lamar Jackson?
Yep, Lamar Jackson,
2019, he had
3,000 yards.
3,100 yards that season.
That was his best season. My bad.
Yeah.
That was his best season throwing the football, like yards wise. So
Yeah.
that kind of goes to show you how bad the Ravens receivers are and how low they've been, and that they just don't get yards down the field a lot because they run the ball a lot more. To where if you put Dak in that same situation, it'll probably be the same. Running the ball, not too many yards, just choose the right things, kind of like his rookie season. But yeah,
Yeah, but see that's the thing. Like I have to go back and I gotta actually look at each wide receiver's yardage that game that year. But Lamar Jackson that season, only like I said, only had 401 passing attempts. He only completed 265. I mean, is that because um of the wide receivers? Is that because of his accuracy?
I think
Because
it's
it's both.
honestly, I think it was both. I think it was sometimes his accuracy kind of fucked up, but sometimes his receivers just didn't catch the ball. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, bro. Marquise Brown can't catch the ball. He can't catch herpes in a strip club if he had to. So that's how bad his dropping is.
So if he can't catch and all that, so then why was Lamar Jackson pissed off that Brown got traded?
Oh, because he was probably their best weapon in terms of like a
Oh,
receiver. Like I said, Hollywood Brown was one of those receivers that either dropped the football or scored. It was the same thing last year. He had those one good games and then he went back to his old version of himself, dropping the football. So
okay.
he's back and forth with his consistency.
Yeah.
But like I said, he wanted to go to a team where the offense was going to utilize him throwing the football more because
Who did?
he didn't. Yeah, and that's what Brown. I think that's what Brown wanted to do.
Well, go to a team where they utilize passing the ball more.
Right. Yeah, and
But didn't
then
he
the
get? But
Cardinals.
he got traded over there. I mean, he had the
Yep.
option to get traded. That's what it
Absolutely.
was. He asked for the
Mhm.
trade, and they sent him over to the Cardinals.
Yep.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he I think he wanted to do it prior to because the Ravens don't really throw the football a lot. So when you look at the Cardinals, it's so much more different. I think Kyler has a stronger arm than Lamar, like if you're throwing deep balls, but everything else Lamar clears it. Um, but like I said, Hollywood Brown on the if you put Hollywood Brown on the Cardinals that he's on right now, he's gonna get the ball a lot more and expect them to have a lot of 100-yard games to start without D Hop.
Marquise Brown.
Yep, he's gonna have at least like one or two like big games, and then he's gonna go back to his drops. It's just Hollywood Brown, man.
Yeah. No, man, but we're already about 40 minutes in, bro. I guess we're still at that agree to disagree. I mean, I hear your
Yep.
talking points, and I understand everything you're saying. And like I said, the only that's where our disconnect is that
Mhm.
who's a better passer. But when it comes to pure, a pure player, elevating your team, being an MVP, a player. Period. It's Lamar Jackson. I
Yep.
I agree with you there. But when it comes to pure passing, I still I need to see it to believe it. I mean, I get it. I see it in flashes here and there, but I needed to see it consistently. And with Dak, I've seen it consistently enough. He takes more of he doesn't take chances. He takes more of what the defense gives you, which is why his rookie season he had that long stretch with between interceptions that he had because he protects the ball. I know the past couple years he hasn't, but and we can say for whatever reasons because he was off the field issues that he was going through. His brother, his all that stuff. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
but yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna put this guy down and get him to bed. But I appreciate you for coming on, man, and having this debate with me. It was fun, and dude, you're more than welcome to come on anytime you want, bro.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, bro.
All right, let them know
I'll
where they can find you, Doug.
Yes, sir. Hey, big place on YouTube, you know. That's where you can find me and stuff like that. Just go check my videos out. I make more highlights nowadays, but hey, I still
Yeah,
make those videos here and there. Like I had that Aiden Hutchinson video the other day. I said David Ojabo was better, but hey, that's where you can find me. Same thing with Twitter. It's the same name.
yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you stopping in. I'm
Yes,
gonna
sir.
sign out, man.
Hey,
All right, you have a
appreciate you.
good one. Yes, sir.
Yep,
All
you
right,
too.
later. Whew. All right, guys. That was a big play Slay coming on here. Thank y'all for bearing with me. I know I didn't get to a lot of the chat, and I know today wasn't much of a trolling day. It was more of a and I knew what today was gonna be because earlier in the week my wife wanted to go to her parents or her brother's house so they could have they're having a party for her nephew, big old water slide, all that stuff. But with this dude being only a few weeks old and not having all his shots and people are going to be there that I don't know, or know where they've been. I just I just wanted to be safe with this guy because he doesn't have all his shots. But I appreciate y'all for bearing with me. I got to feature baby Boys for Life in here, Boys for Life Junior. But guys, with that being said, I appreciate every single one of y'all in here. Tomorrow I'll probably do another stream. That probably will be trolling tomorrow. But as always, let's go Cowboys.
I have never in my life felt so uncomfortable. Jesus Christ. Anyway.